Parkinson's disease is a debilitating neurodegenerative disease. After Alzheimer's disease, it is the second most common neurodegenerative disease in the world. Around 1% of people over the age of 60 suffer from Parkinson's disease. Like Alzheimer's disease, the misfolding of a specific protein in a specific brain region seems to play a major role in the progression and severity of the disease. The accumulation of these misfolded proteins results in the death of the affected neurons. At time of diagnosis, about 70% of neurons in this brain region might have already died off. So, what can we do to prevent the accumulation of these misfolded proteins in the first place? Like many degenerative diseases, Parkinson's disease develops over the time span of many years, even decades. Next to hereditary factors, which we cannot change, environmental toxins and specific dietary aspects seem to play a major role in Parkinson's disease. The three main factors to prevent Parkinson's disease are minimizing the exposure to environmental toxins and other neurotoxins, maximizing your brain's defense mechanism against the accumulation of misfolded proteins via dietary means, and avoiding head trauma. Environmental toxins are known to contribute to Parkinson's disease. Some of these neurotoxins are even used in animal tests to induce the condition in the first place. Possible contributors include PCBs and other industrial chemicals, already banned pesticides like DDTs and hexachlorobenzenes, dioxins, heavy metals, and many more. How is it possible that pesticides that were banned decades ago are affecting us up to this day? Because humankind contaminated nature, and nature comes back to bite us in the ass. But did you know there is a simple trick to minimize the uptake of environmental toxins? This simple trick will reduce your uptake of dioxins by over 90%. And this trick is eating on the lowest level of the food chain, which means eating plants. Environmental toxins accumulate and multiply themselves the higher up you go on the food chain. Some environmental toxins, like lead, accumulate in bones. Others, like mercury, in animal protein, and many others accumulate in animal fat. If you eat animal products, regardless of it being meat, dairy or eggs, in a sense, you also eat parts of everything the farm animal ate. And that is the problem. But wait, there is more. Even though the farm animals we breed are herbivores, we feed them millions of tons of slaughterhouse waste. Yes, you heard correctly. Slaughterhouse waste. And in some countries like the US, we don't even care if it comes from the very same species. Yeah, forced cannibalism. Now, let us not forget the atrocious abuse of these so-called farm animals, but the downside for us humans is the ever-growing accumulation of toxins through generations of farm animals eating each other. A completely plant-based diet, consisting only of foods on the lowest level of the food chain, is the most powerful change you can do to minimize your exposure to environmental toxins. This means that, in terms of environmental toxins, you are better off eating vegetables, fruits, starches, grains, legumes and nuts and seeds, and even all kinds of processed plant foods than eating any kind of animal product. Eating a plant-based diet also helps with weight management, which is also an important aspect of brain health, alongside regular exercise. Did you know that smoking protects against Parkinson's disease? Overall, smoking is still bad for brain health because it increases the risk of strokes. The protective effect of smoking is attributed to nicotine. Interestingly, only a very small amount of nicotine is needed to achieve a positive effect. Even second-hand smoking seems to protect against Parkinson's disease. The good news is, nicotine is naturally found in a variety of foods, like nightshade vegetables, especially bell peppers. By eating these foods regularly, you do not need to come into contact with cigarette smoke and still get the benefits of nicotine. The food group most strongly correlated with brain health is berries. Their benefits are not limited to Parkinson's disease. Cognitive decline with age has many contributing factors. One main factor is atherosclerosis, so bad vascular health. If the neurons in our brain are not properly provided for, with oxygen, glucose, various micronutrients and phytonutrients, they are less resistant to all kinds of damaging factors. An artery-healthy diet, thus a mostly whole food plant-based diet, and especially berries, can help keep your brain young, healthy, and even delay the onset of various neurological diseases, including Parkinson's disease, by several years. There is one other diet-related aspect to Parkinson's disease: drinking coffee. And caffeine seems to be the active compound that decreases the risk for Parkinson's disease. Thus, black tea and, to a lesser degree, green tea help. But that's not all. These caffeine-containing beverages may also help treat Parkinson's disease, for example by improving motoric function within a few weeks. But do not add dairy milk to these beverages. Dairy is the largest source of environmental toxins in the average Western-style diet, and dairy proteins in general seem to bind to various health-promoting phytonutrients, blocking their absorption in our gut. Thanks for watching our video. If you liked the video, please give it a like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. See you in the next video.